Alright. Hey everybody, welcome to the Purple Heart. Just coming down off the mountain. So I figure I got a chance to say a few things. Today is the day before a national holiday here in China, the holiday known as Dragon Boat Festival. It's kind of a holiday that celebrates filial piety. Most notable for its story of Chu Yuan, a minister and poet, I think, in the Qin dynasty. That was despairing over his country, the state of his country, and so he decided to drown himself as an act of sacrifice for the greater good. And that was seen as a very heroic and courageous thing to do. I've also learned that there are other renowned figures in different parts of China that's kind of known for. So, but Chu Yuan seems to be the one story that most people relate to the holiday. I think it's kind of funny because it's also in America. It's a D-Day. It's just kind of our Dragon Boat Festival. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the land, China. This is kind of something I always love about China. I always appreciate about China. It's a bountiful land. It's a land that takes a certain sensibility, a certain perception to see the potential of it, and the settlers here, the people who settled this part of land, certainly saw that, and that's a certain perception that has advanced our civilization, our world collective, to immensely. You know, everything from rice cultivation and all the inventions that came out of China, you know, were in part, you know, gunpowder, things like that. It wouldn't have been feasible if it were not for a sort of perception that the land held that kind of potential. So, kudos to China on that one. And something I appreciate as much as every Chinese person here, they like to get out in the land, which is kind of strange because the move towards urbanization doesn't really jive with that. And you get that same regards in the United States. Usually it's the immigrants or the people who don't have that same sort of attachment with the country that are inclined to go towards that urban environment, which is not really, you know, it doesn't really sort of jive with China in a lot of ways. You know, like when people talk about that movie, The Wandering Earth, there's being sentiment, an environmentalist sentiment. I don't see it, you know, because everybody was buried and squashed underground for the most part, and only the privileged few got to go up on the surface of the earth and actually sort of see what the planet was like. So that kind of jive with me. But you know, I love being here. There's certain ecosystems here and certain environments that are unique to China, certain species, certain features that are unique to this land. And it's a big, expansive land with you know, deserts and rainforests and tundras. It's quite unique. And it has the same scope as the United States does. It has the same scope as the United States does in a lot of ways. Over here you see, this is kind of interesting. This is where a lot of ladies come and still wash their clothes out here. But these are kind of the people who kind of live out here in the hills and stuff, you know. I mean, I can't imagine their clothes being cleaner washing in this water, but they still come out here and do it. So they're pretty country folks here, you know. And there's, you know, they enjoy it, you know. I mean, people come along the trails here and collect lychees. These trees here are full of lychees, and it's a very sweet fruit that's unique to China. And people fill bags with them, and they're delicious, you know. But it reminds me of collecting apples or gathering apples in the orchards of New York. So it's something and it's just like that. It's like kind of a family thing to do, to come out here on the weekend and do that. So it's pretty enjoyable. It's something I really kind of love about being here in China, especially where I'm located right now. There's a lot of similarities to my first city in China when I was in Jiangxi province. And there, you know, I had a fishing pole. I used to go fishing and just sit by the lake all day fishing. Never caught too much, but it was a lot of fun. Anyway, that's all for today. Nice talking to you. We'll talk to you later. I'm gonna do another plug here of products that I love in China. This is a product called Wangwo Ji. It's one of probably the most popular drinks here in China. They call it a time-honored brand. It's kind of a spicy iced tea alternative. It's kind of it's an iced tea, but it's kind of spicy, but it has a very smooth flavor. And I sometimes, I very frequently will drink this rather than a Coke or something like that to get away with the carbonation. It's not very sweet. It's kind of I would say something that Snapple would fit right in with the Snapple line. It's called Wanlong Ji. It's one of my favorite sort of drinks here in China.